Welcome to multi-net design in the continuation of our roofless duplex. Now, in this particular episode, we want to finish up with the elevation, add some little adjustments, and do not forget our last episode. Just click save. Our last episode, we were able to do this staircase like we have seen. Go to and see what we are able to create at this type of staircase design. Then you look at it from other side as well, like this side. You can imagine the kind of form this design took. So these are the things that we were able to do in the last episode. So in this episode, we want to do something comprehensively. Now we go to the first thing is that we want to create the opening side for this particular window. So what do? You click on this one. Then we want to pick this window side to work on that. So now click here and say, go to elevation, say yes, east elevation will be a proper elevation to work with. So you say copy from here, and you say constraint, so let it be here. So we have that in place. So now we want to edit this and then change everything. So the only one we need is what we're going to retain. So delete this area that are not necessary. So this is the only one we need, and this is the only one we are going to concentrate our effort on. So click here and you say, then you extend this one. I want to use double following window, so this one is going to be there. So you click finish. So now you select this wall, say edit profile, then you select this profile around it. So here you break this, and then you click. This is a one-on-one design. Like I've said, I'm not using the predefined template. I just want to do everything for my own sake and for my own likeness. So I've done with this now. So the next thing is that I click here on this and I say edit profile again. So this one should pick from here. Pick, then you break this one again. After you are breaking this, say finish. Good. So as we have done with this now, everything is set on this type of elevation. So you can imagine the stylings of elevation, the way it looks. So now let us rearrange them and give them the befitting outlook. So how do we do that? Is that we select them and begin to put them in the spaces where they belong to, like in paper aspect. So but before then, let me do something like, okay, someone will ask me that they did not get most of the dimension right. So let me quickly do temporary dimension for the. So if you want to start from beginning now, if you get this dimension for yourself, so you can watch this and later start from beginning and do everything accordingly. It is a beautiful thing to work on that level. So that is the way. It's a temporary dimension you can work towards by yourself and build okay. So you do this as well. So that is the way. So every other thing you can decide to work it on your phone, depends. So it's not everything that is here that is say this is the law that guides this thing I do here. But what I just make sure that is more important is that they follow some design principle, so that we don't have excessive space, inadequate function of arrangement. So that is why the design principles are there for the proper guidance. But this is not the way, this is not the permanent way of doing things. So you watch this and give yourself a peace of mind. So like this one now, you can remove this background. You don't need it again for now, so you select it. So all this annotation, all this are going to be done by yourself, most of which are not going to do. So if you want to see the way we do the packaging of it, you can watch most of our previous tutorial. I just want to transfer this particular thing and show some little, like some element that are newly for you to work with. So that's what we do here. So like this one is done. Now you go to the next floor, and here what you just need to do to know that okay, something is here is that you go to this place again and remove this underlay. So this one, so you title this is a master bedroom. It goes down, and the bedroom, the store or the library, wherever, and every other thing that he or she needs to work with his own way of life. So we have done with this. I want to create this window, put the embellishment on that side. So go to your east elevation. From the east elevation, now you select and then say components, say model in place. So use casement and say okay, and click OK. So what you do here is that you use extrusion to do that. So pick here, and then you start doing those things one after the other. So extrusion here is your work. So pick there and say pick. So select the wall, then you click on the wall, then the thickness is being there, and then you select the offsets, which is going to be 150 if it's not much. So check it. So 150 is actually okay for it. You can decide to change it to 200 or just leave it in 150. I think that would be okay, so that will not be too bogus. So check it from here and see. Good. So here now you reduce this to like 100. So that is it. So this one is set, is an settle. So you can change the material if you feel like okay, the material now I want to change it, duplicate and say to, so choose a material from appearance library. Then you can choose ceramic if it's what you need. So whatsoever that you think that okay, it's okay. Tiles if it's what you feel like it's going to be default, if it's anything that you want to do in that manner. So I myself, I like something like siding. So most of everything I do, I use siding to do them because I like the pattern that is around that particular images. So we are done with this in this line now. So the next line to do is that we want to work with the ceiling. Let me create ceiling before I later come here. So the reason why I'm creating ceiling is that when I want to attach my what's it called, lighting, like bulb, ceiling wall, something, everything. So ceiling will be of helping hand for me. So create ceiling. At this level I'm using sketch, I'm not using automatic, so I'm just going to create that by selecting here and say fine for me, click finish. So I will go to elevation now and see the ceiling that I've created. It is okay, I can edit it. I want it to be more thick, so I'm doing the thickness from here. Say, so I'm going to do this by say add these things together, there will be 45. So I want to change it to 70 and 30, which will be 100. Sorry, let me just use 50 and 100. That will be like 150 altogether join. So it should be giving me a thickness that I need. Good. So align this one now. This will add value to the elevation now, and that will be a beautiful idea to what I'm creating. So I have done with this. It is not yet finished, so you edit this one now, then you say edit and edit it. So you take it to the last level because the cantilever extend to that level, and I still want to have my lighting at that side. So look at it from this angle and you see what we have created. So if it's okay by you, you leave it. If it's not okay by you, you work on it again. So this one now, I'm going to do it around, so it follow the whole process of now select. So here I'm going to use level 2 because that is the point in which it's going to flow around it. So click here, select. So you select here as well to select these areas, and what you just need to do is to create the stair the way you have done with the stair. So how do we do that? So click here and say modify. Yeah, so at this junction we are removing it from this guy. So you delete, you break this, and then you select this. So click finish. So yeah, you do this and check. Good, so it's done. So this one will be, see, you do see the thickness, and you can remove this if you don't want this to continue showing, so that it will not give you the confusion that you don't need. So go back here and say it and say anyway, just leave it. It's part of the process of design. Anything that happen from there is yours. So click here and say copy this from this level to this level. So as you have that one now, you look at it again from that part you are designing it from. Is it okay for you? Good. So accurately you are good to go. So yeah, but I want to edit it away from that wall. So level 2, and I'm taking this away from here now, saying click. So I'm taking this off, I'm taking this off. So I'm leaving this side, I'm leaving that side, I'm leaving the side, and I'm leaving this side. So if I have it like this, okay, then go back to the level 2 and see whether what I've done is good. So it's okay. So I have this in place, which is normal and which is general. So by the time I'm putting on my lighting here now, they are going to be there and stay put and permanent. So by the time I'm putting everything there, it's going to work accurately. So the next thing I need to do is to work on bring all the plan into sheet. So click here and say sheet number 1. So you click on sheets and say okay, move. So you can drag. So I'm going to use one example in this area, and the remaining examples are going to be, say, a date, and then you get it done. So how you do it here now, it depends on your home perspective. So I'm working here, then say, then you drag the few points is what will make you to set everything properly. So the mouse is misbehaving. So you can decide to draw it. If the mouse is giving you some edit, to click on it, you come to sketch mode. The same thing the way you sketch. So you click finish it. So here now you say you don't want the aspect again, and then you can toggle off this. So you set into the paper space. So you can do the same thing all along. So here you rename this one and say, just say a ground floor plan. So is the ground floor plan. So it's let it be there like that. So ground floor plan and now 2, which is not good. So you can remove 1 and release 1. So which one are you removing, which one are you putting? So it depends on what you are doing. So you remove this one, say delete. So you rename this one and give it to what? 1. So there's no one you cannot do. It's only that when the name must not join together. So after you've done this one, now you can say okay, pick another one. So you put one elevation on this. So south elevation, let's use that and put it here. Good. So this south elevation, I think, is okay. You can edit from there too. Drag, put there. This one you can hide it. Category. Is there anyone you need to hide again? Advisable. You can hide all the elevation if you want. So if you want to change, work on the background. So here you say graphics display. At the graphics display, you can use a background here. If you have the sky, you can put sky. If you work for you, apply. So you see the sky now. So that is the sky for you. If you don't want the sky, if you need something else or something different, you can say gradient. If you have the image you want to import, you can import the image. So I always like to use gradients because of the, so I'm going to use that and say apply. So you see almost like the same thing like sky that was there. So double click and say you don't want that again. So you can hide this, then say no title. So if you want to hide this all these ones too, they are very possible. You can just say select all instance, hide all the category. So for this one will go and you still remain your building the way you want it to be, but I want them to be back, so I return them back into the space. So that is how you work on your elevation and every other thing that you have done, the side one and everything that you need to look into. So you can create more elevation by saying new sheet, then by clicking this one, just bring the east elevation into this space. So because so here is what you've done again. You can hide this one and say no fill. So here you double click and then remove this, click on this and say hide the category. So from here you do the same thing by say graphics display, select a realistic background and then you choose this to be gradient. In the gradient you just choose any blue color, which is very important. I like this, so I always use this. So click and save, apply. Good for you. So that is it. So these are the things that we are able to do in this project. You can increase the scale by selecting it here and change it from this paper space. So that is where you change it. You can customize. I want to use it at 75. So good. So this one is good for me. Double click here and say show this. So I want to expand the sky to go up. I want more sky to be refilling. So I'm done with this, and that is the beauty of what we have created so far. So good. So much are still coming to work on this project. So for now, we look at this in this panel and say happy film. So kindly subscribe if you are watching us for the first time, and same time like and